Cozy Hometown Christmas, Pinecone Falls, Book 2. Written by Meredith Summers. Narrated by Hollis Mccarthy. Chapter 1. From the second Dorothy Woodward saw George, she fell madly, deeply, and hopelessly in love. His big green eyes seemed to delve deeply into her soul, as if he understood her. George was the answer to her prayers, the very thing she needed to get through this lonely Christmas. As they approached her house, decorated with a wreath on the door and candles in the windows, she glanced over at the passenger seat, where George looked back at her adoringly. Not at an equal level, though. George was looking up, from inside a cat carrier, because George was a cat. A gorgeous brown and white rag doll with luminescent green eyes, to be exact. A cat was just what her big, drafty house needed. Dorothy Woodward had lived in this sprawling farmhouse on the outskirts of Pinecone Falls, Vermont, for as long as she'd been married. 38 happy years with her husband Charlie before he'd passed 2 years ago. Now that December was here, with the snow starting to accumulate on the ground, and the sleepy Vermont town waking up for its most active tourist season, it was time to fill the emptiness. She wanted things to be upbeat and cheery when Kristen, her daughter, arrived home again. Kristen needed a fresh start, even if she would be staying in her childhood home for the time being. Dorothy had no hopes of her remaining in the house past when she found another place nearby to rent, but for now she would enjoy the company. She would make this house bright again. She would make it a home. And that started with George. Dorothy lowered the carrier to the ground of the entranceway and unlatched the front gate. Welcome home, George. She'd chosen this cat in particular not only because he was young — the last thing their family needed was to face the mortality of another member — but also because he was curious. He hadn't hesitated to approach her, and he didn't hesitate to exit the carrier in favor of his new surroundings. The fluffy furball lunged into the open with such abandon that he skidded on the floor, skewing the hallway runner sideways before escaping into the great unknown of the house. Her children were now grown. Ethan, the oldest, ran the Christmas tree farm that had been in her husband's family for generations and lived on the other side of the acreage. Although Dorothy had done everything possible to console him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?